Kurtz has already kind of given a welcome and set some of the parameters of tonight, but I thought I would take a moment to just thank everyone for coming. It's a foundation to our democracy, not only to have candidates who are willing to take a risk in the public eye and be willing to put themselves out for running for office, but also to have informed citizens who cast thoughtful votes. So it's a credit to everyone here tonight that you've taken time from the other demands in life to be here, and I just wanted to thank you for that. So as you know, we have two candidates for sheriff, Aaron Rudy and Rob Murrow. And as Kurt explained, we will give them 2 minutes each to tell about why they would like to be the sheriff, and then we'll follow with the prepared questions. So we'll go in alphabetical order. Rob, would you like to tell us why you, or introduce yourself?
Okay, you can hear me. Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say I apologize because I'm not a public speaker, but I'm going to try to do the best I can. The first question is, why do you want to be sheriff of Stafford County? When I was first hired and I was asked what my goals were by my previous boss, and that I told him at some point that I wanted to be... Hold it up. Okay. I told him one time that once I gained the experience I needed, I would like to be sheriff. And that was many things that I learned over 22 years ago. Plus, I've been in law enforcement, and I felt that so far that I've built a strong working relationship with the local and surrounding law enforcement agencies and a lot of the public. So that's short but sweet.
Oh, well, thank you. You did leave it on. Can you hear me? Yes. My name is Aaron Rudy. I've been in Stafford County about 15 years. Been in law enforcement off and on for 18. I did 5 years with the Kansas Department of Corrections. I left there as a master sergeant. I worked for the St. John Police Department for almost 13 years, 2 months shy of 13 years. I'm fully invested in Stafford County, and it's what's going on here. I have grandkids here. I also have a child still in school. My wife is the EMS director, so I get to hear a lot of the things that are going on around the county. I would just like to see more working with all the agencies within the county, whether it be police departments or EMS or the health department or any of them, and that is one of the major reasons that I decided to run.
Blended the 2-minute introductory speech along with why you want to be county sheriff. So
I'm sorry.
Well, it's probably on me too. If there's anything you would like to add about why you specifically would like to be the Stafford County Sheriff?
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay. We'll move on to Rob. What are the key issues facing the sheriff's office, and how do you plan to address them?
As you all know, probably the most important issue right now with the sheriff's office and with any entity or whatever is our budgets and the loss of the tax revenue that we've had because of the COVID. And I've already taken steps on the upcoming budget. I've already taken a decrease in my upcoming budget to help offset for next year. But the problem is it's not just this year, it'll also be the year after it. So we're going to have to really tighten up our purse strings and watch whatever we spend in the next 2 years, no unnecessary spending or anything else.
Thanks. Also with Rob, I'm aware that COVID has definitely cut into all the finances. All right, can you hear me now? So like I said, finances from COVID definitely cut into the money. People lost their jobs, so the county didn't get as much money in as it should have. I don't currently know what the operating budget is. I've not had an opportunity to look at it, so I'm not sure what we'll be able to do to affect that. However, I also feel that some of the issues facing law enforcement today, especially now, is what's going on with BLM and Antifa and all the movements that are going on there. I think that even in small town Kansas, we need to be aware of what's going on there. I think one of the other issues that is definitely facing our county is narcotics, and I think that that is something that we need to hit a little harder. I also believe that working together, we can make a big dent in what's going on here, and that I would like to see that happen.
Due to the virus, are they gonna lose any officers?
No, we're not going to be losing any patrol officers at all. It's, the budget's good enough to go ahead and continue with what we have right now. Okay.
So I may reverse the order that I asked the question so that each person has an opportunity to answer the given question first. So, Aaron, what will you do to streamline and optimize the budget of your department, and what wasteful practices do you plan to eliminate?
Well, as I said, I haven't had a chance to look at the budget, so I don't know if or what, if any, wasteful spending is going on. To streamline it, one of the things that I would really like to do is do as much in-house training as we can. We have a lot of officers that are currently working that have certifications in several parts of the profession that we can get the education and we don't have to pay hotels, we don't have travel. That cuts down a lot. Travel expenses for training can be astronomical depending on the training and where it's located. Part of the problem with that is the area we don't have a lot of big training opportunities, so I would like to be able to bring instructors here to give the training in-house and hopefully invite other agencies here. One of the other things is streamlining the way we operate. How many deputies we have out during the day, how many deputies we have out during the evening, how much of the county gets covered as often as possible. That's been a big thing that I've heard, is coverage for different parts of the county, and I would like to see that expanded. But I think the biggest thing for streamlining would definitely be bringing in more in-house training. I mean, I've spoken with Chief Adams, and I know that he has numerous certifications for training. I think that those are things that can be utilized. There's already a range shared with them. So training that way would definitely help cut the budget.
What will you do to streamline and optimize the budget of your department, and what wasteful practices do you plan to eliminate?
During my first term as sheriff, I've already increased my patrol staff and increased my budget, without increasing my budget, I'm sorry. Never before have we been able to increase our patrol staffing more than what we have now, by doing away with a personnel position that our certified officers could do and perform, allowed us to increase the patrol in the county and the local cities. While in my first term, we were all able to start a reserve fund. The reserve fund, to this date, in the past 4 years, is up to $180,000 that I've been able to save the taxpayers' money. We also have a VEN fund that can be used to purchase non-budgeted equipment and supplies.
Thank you. Rob, in your opinion, what is the most important skill a Stafford County Sheriff should have?
Okay. I believe a sheriff should have a sound moral character, common sense, strong interpersonal skills, decision-making skills, and flexibility, and good communication skills, and also knowing when to ask outside agencies for help.
I've thought a lot about this question, I really did. I think that one of the main things that the sheriff needs to be is the sheriff. I think that has a lot that goes in with it. I think the sheriff needs to be a counselor. He needs to be able to guide. He needs to be flexible, as Rob said, because law enforcement is an ever-changing profession. It probably changes more often than most professions do. There's always a new decision by the courts. There's always a new decision by Congress that affects everything that we do, and anything that goes on in the public affects how things should be. So I really think that flexibility is one of the key things, as well as an ability to communicate, which I can normally do one-on-one. But like Rob, I'm not a very good public speaker, so I apologize for that.
Those are the total of the prepared questions we have. So I will ask if there are any questions that the audience would like to submit. I understand that none of them are in the basket in the back, but we're glad to take questions from the floor. Okay, for the sheriff candidates, what are you going to do to curb the drug problem in the county?
I think there's several ways to go about it. I think the first thing has to be presence. That's, I think, where you start with everything. You have presence, and then you move into traffic stops, and you lead into bigger cases. Everything has to lead to the bigger cases, so you take down one person at a time until you get to the bigger people. Like I said, I think presence in the areas where that's going on is the main part that's going to get that started. Without presence, you can't see things, people can't talk to you, you can't get information. So I would definitely want to start with presence first.
As Aaron said, correct, presence is one of the biggest deals. Without the presence, it just kind of curbs their activities. We have, like we say, since we put 2 deputies out per night shift, I mean, the presence is out there more and more. But once the COVID kind of goes away, we'll be able to use other agencies that have more of an expertise that can help us in this situation. But right now, it's relying on our local PDs and the sheriff's office to do it all ourselves right now. It's always good, though, when the public sees something, whether it's little or small, whatever you call it in, let us know. Without your help, it really helps us so much more if you give us information that's as current and as, I would say, probably as fast as possible. 2 or 3 days old information really doesn't work that good, and we can't really take it to court.
Another question asks, who will be your undersheriff? We would like each candidate to answer each question, please.
I have not actually reached that decision yet. I'll be honest with you, I've reached out to an officer that I used to work with here. I don't know if any of you remember Charlie Brown or not, but I made a call to him to ask him if he would be willing to do that when I came, if I got elected, and he assured me that that was definitely on the table for him if I got it. So I hope that answers the question.
As of now, I have no idea, plan on changing my current undersheriff. So everything is the same as it has been.
Any other questions needed?
Those are the questions that have been asked. Thank you very much.